Hello everybody, welcome to another beautiful interview with a guest that has done the whole program here at Rythmia Life Advancement Center, which is an incredible healing retreat center that utilizes lots of different healing modalities, but in particular plant medicine. And we just go deep into people's traumas and allow the medicine to weave her magic and get out anything that's not serving you so that you can move forward as a pure soul, the purest form of you that you are truly designed and meant to be. And if you haven't read Gerry's book, Shit the Moon Said, it's a beautiful, beautiful book with the dialogue. I love the title.
It's so good.
With the beautiful dialogue that Gerry had with the moon. So lots of questions and answers, and her answers are very articulate, funny, and to the point. So check that out. It's also in an audio version. This week has been beautiful, magnificent, glorious, all of the above. It's just every week just keeps getting better and better and better, and the medicine just teaches me so much more, and I see so much incredible stuff happening. We've had the geniuses behind Spirit Science, which is the world's #1, I know, right? Love them. It's the world's #1 spiritually awakening animation. And I watched this years and years and years and years ago, and it was one of the first things that truly woke me up to what's truly going on, what our true history is, where we're truly from. So if you haven't checked out Spirit Science, look them up. They've got a YouTube channel, massive following, and they were here this week, so we'll talk more about them later. Also, we've had Parashakti bring her Dance of Liberation here. So I was teaching, along with Meg, the ecstatic dance on the Friday afternoon, but Parashakti bringing her Dance of Liberation, Love Child here, has just stepped it up a notch. It really is a whole ceremony with lots of different healing modalities into that space and time. And we walk around the land, we bless the land, we do native chants, we do blindfolded ecstatic dance, and lots of meditation and healing and going inward. So if you come here, you're going to be experiencing that beautiful love child of Parashakti's. She's just left today, and she's an absolute goddess. She's back in February, so you'll get to meet and greet her if you come here. But without further ado, let's get into today's beautiful interview. I have Alison here from Houston, Texas, and she's so lovely, said that she will come and join me, because this morning in the closing talk, I heard her sharing her story, and I just knew that I needed to get her on here to share it with you all. So welcome, goddess.
Thank you so much.
I love you. So beautiful. Firstly, tell me about you. What brought you to a point in your life where you needed something else? Were you researching for something else?
So I think my search really started as I realized I was pregnant with my son. I was going to be a single mom. I knew that for sure. And I was about 21. I was going to be 21 when I gave birth. And I'd had a really, really tough life. And I think that, for me to bring a child into the world and then already know that, he will be coming into a broken family, I was like, well, now it's not just me on the line. Before that, I was a super party girl, constantly, where's the next party, smoking cigarettes, getting, drinking, doing whatever I could to...
A bit there.
Right. But, so that reality, like, closing in on me as it, came closer to time to have my son, I ended up getting a job at a place, and thankfully the manager was awesome, and he, Micah, if you're there, thank you. He ended up, introducing me to Stephen Covey and the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and I took that. I was just waiting for that, and something that's come to me while I've been here is this thought of concept of lattice work, and I'm just really interested in all of these amazing people who have been building these beautiful lattice works for us as we sprout and grow into vines to divinity. I'm just so grateful to all of these amazing thought leaders. Spirit Science was here, definitely one of them. I have been following him for almost 8 years. So when I first started my journey, shortly after working on the 7 Habits stuff, I found Spirit Science in his videos, and man, and I didn't know he was going to be here. He was just here.
Divine alignment.
Yes, 100%. And also, the reason that the direct reason I'm here is also Kyle Cease.
Legend.
I've been to a lot of his events. I did the meditation retreat in Silomar in September with him, and it really compelled me, like, I need to go to Rythmia. I need to experience this. And it's so funny because now, like, all the phrases and stuff that he says, I would, throughout the whole ceremonies, I'd like sit up and be like, oh, hold space. Now I get it. I really get it. Yeah. So that's really what led me here, was just, knowing that someone else was going to be relying on me, and wanting to build something of myself so that I could help him when it's come time to struggle, because we all have that in our lives at certain points.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, so having a child just sparked your need to just become who you're always destined to be, a better version of yourself, to then, in effect, help your little love child. Oh, that's so beautiful. And so it was thanks to Carl Cease and people like that in that realm that introduced the word ayahuasca to you?
Yeah, well, actually, I fell in love with psychedelics at a younger age.
Yeah.
So loved LSD. I would actually try to do it like every year on New Year's to reset me, and give me. It would always rearrange things for me, so that when I came out of it, like, I could take a fresh step in life in the right direction, back on my path, right? And so I knew what ayahuasca was. I've known for quite a while. I actually got introduced to it by Terrence McKenna and his work, who I loved.
Yes.
Thank you, Terrence.
Yeah.
And that concept of the mother plant, the original plant where it was in our diet on a regular basis, and this is why there's addictions. This is why people feel the need to get into an altered state of consciousness, because we had this plant in our diets on a regular basis from the cradles of first life, and now we don't have that anymore. And so people are trying to climb their way back to that. And so to know that Mother Ayahuasca is just here, and that's my key. I knew it, and I'm just so happy. So.
Well, you're meant to be here. This is perfect timing, and the spirit science guys are here, so it's clearly perfect.
So good.
Let's start talking about your experience here. Sure. So you got here last Sunday, and it's breathwork ceremony that night. Have you done breathwork before?
I had not.
Okay.
And I actually missed the breathwork.
Okay.
And which I knew was perfect.
Yep.
So I just kind of relaxed and had some food.
Yep.
And I was like, you know what? There's more at the end, and I'm sure that that's going to be when I need it.
Yep.
And so I was
perfect. Yeah, everything works exactly how it's meant to.
Yeah.
So then Monday we have the Gerry's talk, and then the spirit science guys.
Yes.
Give us a little explanation about that.
I will. So Gerry's talk is amazing. Gerry, you're the best. You're so funny.
He is hilarious.
So between Gerry's talk and the Spirit Science Guys presentation, I ended up going to, I guess Sunday night when I got here, we went to the clinic, and we had our testing and stuff to make sure we were good to go to take the
clearance to make sure you were good for the medicine.
Exactly, for the ceremonies. And so when I was there, I was talking to Dr. Jeff.
Yeah. Legend.
So I expressed a concern to him because I had done DMT previously with some friends in ceremony, and it was my first time, and I ended up there, all of their spirit and energy flowed into me, and it forced me actually down onto the ground, onto my back, and I couldn't move. And so I was kind of worried because I know that I'm empathic and other people's energy really deeply.
Just wanted to make sure that wasn't going to be the case again with like 50 odd other people's energy.
And on a much stronger substance. So so he said, you know what, come see me Monday afternoon, and we'll have a chat and I'll help you out with that. So we had an amazing chat. He ended up telling me that, as an empath, I've always been told to block the energy of others so that it doesn't affect me. And Dr. Jeff said, well, you can do that, but really you're fighting your own nature if you do that. And I'm like, interesting. So he showed me some tips and tricks to take the energy and really use discernment to actually redirect it and or transmute it. So this was like a really amazing beginning to me figuring out my role here on the planet. So
yeah, so there's no need to block what's naturally a gift. You know, it's just you're fighting yourself, so you may as well utilize it.
Right.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So so that was in between Gerry's talk and Spirit Science Guys.
Yes.
So that really set you up for everything. Do you want to share a little bit about the Spirit Science talk?
I would love to. So I've been following them, like I said, for about 8 years, and it's funny because when we were in Gerry's talk, and we were all going and sitting down, and I saw that they were there. They were going to be here a little bit earlier in the day, and I was really excited. And I was sitting there and kind of in front of the room, and I heard Jordan's voice, and I was like, he's here.
Yeah.
That's his voice,
Yeah.
and you would never not know it.
No.
And so, you know, so I stayed for the presentation, and it was incredible. Just the movie, the episodic kind of movie that they're working on right now is so amazing and so enlightening about just our origins. That the video he already has on YouTube, it's called, I believe, The History of the World, The Untold History.
The Untold, yeah.
And so I definitely check it out. It's about an hour long. It's fantastic. And that actually, I watched that in 2010.
Yeah.
And everybody that wanted to get to know me, I was like, oh, you want to know me?
Yeah.
Watch this. And
it's like a prerequisite for like partners, friends. Like, get to know me, you have to watch this.
You need to watch this. And if you have a really big problem with it,
we can't. Yeah, we just can't be friends.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Come back when you're ready.
Yeah. See me when you're ready.
Perfect.
So it was beautiful to see this episodic movie that they're working on, to actually expound on all of that a lot more deeply.
Yeah.
It really made me super happy.
It's just beautiful being in their presence because they're so young and they're just pure geniuses, and they've been doing this for years, and it just blows me away. Just the pure intelligence of them and the need to get this out, you know, and just the way they're getting it out. Yeah. I have so much love for them. We've become like soul brothers and sisters, you know. It's beautiful. Yeah. So then let's go into your Monday night with the German girls, Anka and Mary Lou. How was that for you?
Gosh, angels. They're beautiful angels. Yeah. So I was actually, despite my prior experience with psychedelics, I was actually terrified. I didn't know what it was going to bring up in me. I've had a lot of trauma and a lot of really ugly things happen to me in my life that weren't even of my doing. I mean, just life. Just punching me in the face a lot.
Happening,
yeah. And so I was like, wow, I don't really want to relive my dad dying when I was 12 or, you know, while my mom neglected me as an infant or any of that stuff. Like, I don't want to do that, but I'm here for a reason. And so it was beautiful, the reverence and the ceremony itself was just, it's not just a bunch of people like chugging ayahuasca, you know, it's
shot. It's not that.
No, it's like there's so much sacred, holy reverence in this. And I have not been a religious person in my life. And so for me to now truly understand the definition of holy, of sacred, you know, is it's beautiful. And so that really impressed me. I am obviously now, I'm understanding the type of person that, so some people, they take the first drink and not really a lot happens to them. And then the second drink is when they start getting the pintas, which are the beautiful patterns that you'll see, or the visuals, the consultations with your higher self, things like that. I started tripping on the first drink every night. It was like, take the drink, hold it for like half an hour, bam, smacked on the pillow, out. Like, could not move, was just super tripping for the first 2 nights. So Monday was, it took me on it took me into the jungle. So it was jungle. It was, a jaguar came to me. It was beautiful.
Spirit animal.
Yes. And I realized that I needed to use the power of the jaguar, the courage, the grace, the beauty of the jaguar more in my life. And there was just a lot of understanding how all of nature is connected to itself and to each other, and we are part of nature, and that we are just perfect the way that we are, and just showing me the way that everything works with energy moving through the earth, into animals, into plants, into bugs, and then moving into us in different ways as medicine, and then you know, us using that to transmute it all back into love, to purify, right? So that was Monday night. I didn't really purge a lot, a little bit, but not much. I'm gonna consult my notes really quick.
She's got a fair bit to go through. While she's doing that, I'll just share. There was, I think it was Aaron from, Jordan from Spirit Science. His sister shared such a beautiful sharing that the medicine had come through her and said that, you know, we are nature. And just like plants, the roots, they take what they need. They don't take too much. And so in effect, like, we should do the same thing, like, not be greedy and take too much, just take what we need and give back what we need. But also in the same light, you know, trees and plants, they handle rainy days, windy days, sunny days, and they handle it with grace, and it just flows through them. And she got the download that that's what we should be doing, just to be so versatile and graceful with whatever comes our way, and not be too greedy, and just, you know, just be us, be beautiful and perfect exactly as we are. That was a beautiful sharing.
Yes, that was, and that definitely ties directly into a lot of my experiences. So kind of the rest of Monday night ended up being me teaching myself how to let go of trying to do it right, and allowing and just trusting the mother plant. That's what we would call ayahuasca. So that was a big lesson for me on Monday, because I kept trying to wrestle. I was wrestling with her, you know, and it was fun and interesting, but at the same time, I understood, like, you have to let go of attachment to an outcome. You have to let go of attachment to anything, because when you realize that life is ease, you don't have to go and do anything unless you feel compelled to do it. Right? Yeah. So Monday night was really formative there. And so there's the three things that you find out, or the three.
Show me who I've become.
Yes.
Merge me back with my soul at all costs, and heal my heart.
Yes. So the show me who I have become happened on the first night for me, and I was crying tears of joy, because I realized that I've become, through all my experiences in life, a beautiful person. I've had, you know, people do really awful things to me. I've had, you know, a lot of things happen to me, and never once have I taken retribution. Never once have I sought revenge. I have always maintained integrity in who I am, my morals, like the things that are just and right. I've always maintained that. And so as I was shown that I, you know, how kind and compassionate and just doing the right thing that I've become, it was really a reassurance, because a lot of people, they find that they've become bitter or cynical, twisted by the world and the things that have happened to them. And for some reason, even though I've endured so much in my short life, that's just never happened to me. And so it's beautiful.
That is beautiful. Yeah, she's so beautiful. She just shows us exactly what's going on. She doesn't make shit up, you know, just to make you feel bad. It's just the truth of what it is. And it's sometimes the truth hurts, but then, you know, it's literally just getting to the truth. You know, we've come here to be shown exactly what we need to do to become the next best version of ourselves. And if that just is to show you to keep doing what you're doing, then that's perfect.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's good to know that you've had the integrity the whole way through. You know, you've maintained that, and so now it's just moving forward. Just keep doing you.
Yeah, and it gave me confidence. It was really, really nice.
So that was Monday.
Yeah, Monday.
Now we'll go on to Tuesday. Did you get to Paola's The Answer Is You class?
Of course.
She's such a goddess, right?
Yes, so amazing.
And it really does integrate everything. Like all the classes that we do, you know, they all have a purpose. Every single thing, the yoga, the meditation, every single talk, everything is all perfectly orchestrated to make you understand what you're going through, and then process it, and then utilize it outside of here.
Yeah, definitely hearing other people sharing about their journeys helped me understand what I was going through. Absolutely. And Paola is just such a beautiful way with words. And I found myself, everything she was saying, I knew how she was going to end the sentence, because I was like, oh, yeah, I learned that last night. Like, were you there? Like, it was crazy. Like, literally everything she's like, you know, talking about, I was floored, because I couldn't finish her sentence.
Yeah, we're all literally just remembering.
Yeah.
Like, we all know all of this, and we're just, this sacred brew is literally just reminding us what we already know and remembering us.
Yeah.
So the only difference between someone who has drunk the medicine and someone who hasn't is literally that we've drunk the medicine. That's the only difference. But we all know, everybody, what the truth of ourselves are, the true like connection to our soul and everything that we need to know. And it's literally just drinking the medicine. It's just a beautiful reminder of that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So what happened Tuesday night?
So Tuesday night,
going deeper with the boys.
Oh, it was beautiful. So, the two guys, Brad and Scotty. Oh, wow! I didn't know what to expect. Yeah, the divine masculine. So I didn't know what to expect because I've experienced a lot of different, we'll say, versions of masculinity and how it's expressed in my life. And I definitely experienced a beautiful, gentle masculinity from my husband. Mm-hmm. He's so wonderful. And, so I'm like, I don't know, how's this going to be? How's this night going to go? Yeah. And I really felt like mothered in an interesting way, like held, just firmly held in safety.
Yep.
It was wonderful. Tuesday night took me on this trip. It showed me that, to me, it showed me that I was one of the original trees on the planet, one of the original mother trees.
That's so cool.
And I had like beautiful creatures that lived inside, lived on my branches, and that I what trees really are, which is just beautiful beings that take in things and then cleanse them outwards, right? So they take in nutrients from the ground, they cleanse it outwards, they take in things from the air and bring it in. And they just hold space.
Yes.
And so Tuesday night, I really explored what holding space meant to me, and I was able to, I envisioned I kind of made like a triangle with my body here, with my lap, and I just held like a sacred space. And then I understood that holding space is a really important job, and it comes very easily to me. And I believe that, at one point, because the shamans are giving of themselves this whole night. The shamans are in the medicine with us, and they're performing healings.
Yeah.
And they get a little drained, tired. You'll see you'll see one of the shamans go to another shaman and kind of get the clearing with the tobacco and the breath of life and stuff.
We need to utilize
get stuff off, right? And so at one point I was there, and I think I was the mother tree holding sorrow and suffering for the world for like thousands of generations and clearing it in my trip. That's what I was doing. Wow. And then at a certain point, I had been there probably, you lose track of time, but I would imagine at least an hour doing that, because it was my whole first cup was this.
Oh, wow. And
at a certain point, not physically, but Brad actually came to me, and I was holding space for him as he rested. I am assuming that he had just finished a healing and needed, and I was just there and holding space, for him somewhere in the room.
That's so beautiful.
I was like, oh, that's amazing.
That is so, I've never heard anything like that. That's such a beautiful share. I love that.
And so then it came to me that I am rest. What I am here on this planet for is to hold space and help the light warriors who are doing the work, the hard, amazing work. I am here to nurture them and in lots of ways. Like I consider myself a food wizard.
Yeah.
I nurture people through food. It's one of my favorite things to do is feed people. And
I love that. We love to eat.
I've
seen that you've got an avocado tattooed on you. I love that.
Avocados are life.
That's so beautiful.
But yeah, so that's one of my roles here right now in this lifetime, is to provide rest and a place for those light warriors to come and lay their heads and rejuvenate themselves, either through creating a beautiful space for them to be there, or just holding space for them energetically, not even physically being with them, but just holding the space for them. And at one point I had struggled to get up because it can be kind of hard to be a person during the shoot.
I love that.
And so I had sat up and I was going to leave. And then I sat up and I saw there was another guy near me, a couple beds down, who was like kind of having like a physical release, like a convulsion kind of thing. Yeah. And the shamans were there and helping him deal with that. And I realized that I couldn't leave. I couldn't go outside because I needed to hold the space. I had to hold the space and allow his healing to transmute through me as a channel, right?
Yeah.
it was beautiful, and I was
beautiful.
like, wow, this is what it is. This is crazy. So Tuesday night, I really realized my role here on the planet.
How beautiful. So you totally got a clear message of what you're doing here, what you've been doing here lifetimes ago.
Yes.
And that provides such deep healing to just know, you know, to truly have a knowing and then move forward with that. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So Wednesday,
yes.
What happened? Divine Feminine Night with Lucine and Sarah. And we also have another Answer As You Talk in the morning, which integrates everything even more so. So what happened for you on Divine Feminine Night?
Divine Feminine Night. So that was awesome. So it was funny because plant integration, the shamans were talking about, well, the second half of the night is a celebration.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Wednesday night was maybe my favorite night.
Oh.
I transitioned because the first 2 nights I really couldn't move at all, and I realized that I came here to rest.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was trying to push myself to get up and go experience things and do this or that. But no, I'm here to actually take a rest from suffering and
Mm-hmm.
from just life.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just resting. But on Wednesday night, I was actually able to be more mobile and move around and do different stuff, and actually got a hang, more of a feel for like the rituals and the different, you know, the rapé and doing things like that.
Yeah.
And I also had an interesting experience Wednesday during the day where Jordan from Spirit Science, he showed me the steam room.
Yeah.
I have always hated saunas.
Okay.
I never liked saunas. I hate being sweaty. I just don't work out or go out when it's hot because I dislike the discomfort.
Yeah.
But I went in there and he's like, no, just stay in here, you know? And I understood that the discomfort is just things that don't belong to you leaving the body.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
And so I learned to hold space for the discomfort and not engage in the discomfort, to just stay separate from it and allow the body to do what it needed to do.
Totally.
Which was really incredible.
Because, the mind wants to give up quicker than the body does, you know, and we just usually like tell ourselves a bullshit story as why I don't want to be doing this, but really and truthfully, like it's detoxing, it's needed, it's a necessary part of healing.
Yeah.
So that's why we've got it here, because it's such a beautiful and integral part, you know, going chilling out in the spa.
That's perfect. And so then Wednesday night was animal night for me.
Yeah.
So they begin the practice, the ceremony with invoking the spirits of 4 animals, which I don't remember all of them, I don't think, but one is the eagle, the hummingbird.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. But the snake, the serpent, and then one other one. And they do that at each of the poles, the north, west, south, east, north, Anyway, so animal night was amazing because I've always been super connected to animals, obviously. I've known that I have totem animals and that I can take their power, and I've really always felt connected with that. So I had a really weird time in the beginning because I was having all of these visions of like really reptilian stuff, like very like the first couple nights, the second night particularly, I was also kind of like when I was in the sickness and the illness, I was actually like experiencing like a swampy and with reptiles and stuff, and like, so Wednesday night was interesting because, you have people around you who are purging. So you have people puking, people, farting and burping, and they're all around you doing this. And so Wednesday night, I just had this really intense dosage of like seeing the reptilians, seeing that, and Tuesday night as well, and just seeing like the underbelly, right? Of like, this is living together. This is what that means. And being like, just be yourself, and if you gotta pick your toe, pick your toe. Like, it's just
far.
Right, let it go. So that was really amazing for me. And then I had a really interesting switch where I was like, wait, but we're angels. We are here. Something on Wednesday during the day came to me, and it was really beautiful. And it was, we are those who walk in beauty. And we are, as light workers, we truly get to experience beauty here. And that's an honor. That is a right that we have, right? We get to allow people to experience our beauty, and we get to just experience and witness the beauty of others and the beauty in everything, right? And so I was able to I kept doing this and like I was able to like slough off basically the reptilian, the frog, the swamp, right? Yep. I was like, no, I want to fly with the eagle. I want to fly with the owl. No, I'm not being down here in this illness anymore, feeling sick, right? That's when I learned my lesson. Do not engage the illness. Do not engage in the discomfort, right? Like, yeah, you don't feel good. Hold space. Yeah. And you will be fine. Yeah. And you'll be able to dance with the angels, right? And
brush that shit off.
Exactly. So that really came through for me Wednesday night. And I also realized that although it's not for me to walk in, the pain, the suffering, the ugliness in the world is still perfect. Yes. It's still beautiful and should be thanked, because it's still, I guess, kind of what I put together for myself is that the older souls are the ones here, of course, teaching the younger souls, right? The way to go in the world and through lives. And the younger souls typically seem to me to be the ones who are constantly in battle, constantly in suffering, and bad things happen to me all the time, and that kind of thing. They expect it, right? But you know, that's still a choice always. And I was just found myself, I said thank you so many times. Thank you so much for being in pain, or thank you for the ugliness of the underbelly of things. Thank you for snot. Thank you for poop. Thank you for all beauty, because it's allowing us to be the opposite of that. Yeah. Which was a huge thing for me, because I used to hate gross stuff. Like I would be like, no, miss me with that. No, thank you. Like, and you know, I had to purge, and I had to go to the restroom several times during Wednesday night, and I ended up realizing that I had made that this inconvenience to me. So now I realize that I need to set up a bathroom ritual for myself. So to make it a beautiful thing, just releasing what's not mine. Yeah. And so that was really nice, and it really brought a lot of things full circle for me.
That's so beautiful. Yeah, I always say to people, especially on Thursdays, it's like, you're gonna shit a lot, and not to fight it, you know, not to make it a part of your suffering. It's like you're cleansing out 20, 30 years of environmental toxins, emotional like traumas. You know, embrace it, enjoy it, and enjoy it as you go through it, as opposed to fighting it, you know. So that was Wednesday you had the purges.
Yes, I had some, a little bit. And then I actually had a really interesting experience. So I have a thing with bugs, or I did. So spiders have been attacking me for months, like going out of their way.
They can sense you.
Yeah, they're going out of their way to attack me lately, bites all over and stuff. And I'm like, why? And I come in here and I'm like, oh, some mosquitoes are everywhere. So I'm being bit here on and off, and I don't wear, bug spray usually. Anyway, so I mean, there's scorpions here, there's spiders here that are pretty large, and I had an issue walking in the grass or doing anything like that because I didn't want them on me, right? So I went outside to do a prayer with the sacred tobacco. My prayer was really beautiful, but so as I was finishing that, and when you are done with it, you spit into a bucket, which helps. It's just getting rid of something that is not yours anymore. And so I went over to the bucket by the bathrooms to spit, and I'm outside, and all of a sudden I have this pain, like a searing pain in my hand, and I knew something bit me. And I mean, I can still see it here, and I was like, no, why did you bite me? I was just living my life. So I went so to me, I was tripping. So, I saw like, I saw it swelling. Like I was like, I'm going to lose my hand. So instead of freaking out, which I normally would have done, I was like, oh, I'll just go to shaman. So I went in and I found Jurgen, beautiful, fluffy angel. And I went over to him and I was like, can you help me out? Something bit me. And he's like, something bit you? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. So he put, what's the ceremony, the alcohol tincture?
You got the Shandu or the Agua de Florida?
No, I'm not sure. I think it's Shandu.
Oh, you split one? Yeah, Shandu.
So he put Shandu on it, and he rubbed it in. He's like, don't worry, this is natural. It's just going to take care of it for you. And then he's like, and I thought maybe he was going to like take me to the doctor or do whatever. And then he's like, okay. And I was like, it's okay? It's okay? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, I don't have to worry about it. And he's like, you don't have to worry about it. So I went outside, And he told me, go find the moon, because he kept coming to me, because I had asked him, like, where's the moon? I couldn't find it. And he's like, she's coming, she's coming. So I went out with a blanket to watch the moons come up. And the mosquitoes were eating me alive, just bite after bite. And I got frustrated, and I was like, and then it hit me. The spider, the mosquitoes, they're all also giving me medicine.
Oh, that's so good. It's all about perception, isn't it?
Yeah.
So the perception, if we attach a label to something like this is bad, oh my God, I'm going to lose my hand, then you start going into panic mode. You switch on your parasympathetic, and then, before you know it, you're in like fight or flight mode.
Which is the reptilian mind.
Just because, you've led yourself down that path. I always say to people, instead of going one way, give yourself some positive options. What else could it mean? Which is what you've just said, beautiful. They're giving you medicine. That's a much better belief.
Why else should they be on me and biting me? And then I realized it's part of this huge picture of the world, right? So the mosquito bites you and it puts poison into you, right? Which is obviously just trying to transmute or deliver a toxin from the environment that they've picked up. It goes into you, right? Then your job is to transmute it into light, right? So when these things happen, when you have, there's a beautiful soul who I follow she's a loctician, so she cares for dreadlocks.
Oh, wow.
And she went to Hawaii and had a really amazing spiritual experience. And then she came home to the U.S. and she did a tour of the U.S. Doing dreadlock tour, right? And then she found out she had lights. And she had it the whole time, and she just shaved her head and all this stuff. But when I realized, like, that happened because she had to shave her head, but it's like she had to shed her old identity, right? To become this new person. So like these bugs, these animals, if an ant crawls on you, if a spider bites you, it's just the universe. It's just Mother Earth trying to care for you. And
the beautiful thing is we have, you have scorpions here, but they're not dangerous at all. And somebody got bitten by one. And the beautiful thing is that when it happened, she had the biggest purge, the biggest release, and then she just said it was perfect because it really sent her into such an amazing journey. And then we looked at the whole meaning behind the spirit animal behind the scorpion, and it's all about protection and coming into your power. And then she felt the next day, she truly felt like that. Wow. It's very rare that it will happen, but I think when it does specifically happen to people, then that's it. I mean, I'm not a bug fan, and I don't get bitten at all. I'm very, 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 very lucky in that respect. But then I think to myself, why are they leaving me alone? Why, But then the beautiful thing is, it's like whenever something presents itself to you, no matter what form it is, an insect, a person, what's the lesson in that? What are you being told in that? What can you get, what belief can you attach to this that serves you better than thinking, why do they keep attacking me? Why does this keep happening to me? It's like, because it has to. It's a deeper meaning. But I love that you've turned that around. That's a metaphor for everything I try and teach you. It's like to not attach a bullshit story to anything that's not going to serve you, and then it's just going to spiral you into fear when there's so many other options. There's so many other options that you can co-create something much more magical than feeling like a victim. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
So then, was that your end of your
That was Wednesday night. Yeah, I think so.
But then Thursday, I do the talk in the morning, and then we have the all-night party.
Yes.
So tell us more.
So I loved your talk. By the way, you're so funny.
I love talking.
And I learned so much too. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I do love the Thursday talks, especially because it gives people next steps, like 14-day protocol, how to integrate everything that we do here, and to know that just like the medicine coming in like a wave when you're in ceremony, the emotions are going to come through like a wave when you leave here, and just to navigate it in a higher frequency, eat high vibrational food, speak to high vibrational people, put your favorite song on and move and dance and just be in a joy state. Just the things like that we help you with. And also we talk about the aftercare package and then how to come back here for free. Because if you qualify while you're here and you send 3 people, you get to come back for absolutely free. Perfect.
Amazing.
I know, right? So Thursday night, the all-night party with Leo and the Colombian tribe.
So actually Wednesday night, one last thing happened. So I went home, and typically after the ceremony's done and you're back inside of your body and you're kind of feeling like a normal person, then you get to go home and go to your bed. And every night that would mean like, oh, I get to go to sleep. Well, I had a crazy Wednesday night in my own bed. I had multiple surgeries Wednesday, on my brain, on my mouth, as well as like on my left side. But when I went home, I actually continued tripping, which I was like, is this normal?
Yes, it happens to me all the time.
It was crazy. And I'm like, oh, so I just don't get to sleep tonight, I guess. Cool. But basically what happened was I was laid down, I laid in my bed, and then my body just, I was told to like put my left side out and up, right? And I was just laying like that, and I had some like mild visuals of like bright lights, and then I had a barn owl come, and so basically did surgery, and I had known for a little while it's possible that I had a tumor forming in my left breast. I felt it. I've said, oh, I think I have a cancer, kind of made jokes about it, but like I really have felt that, and I haven't gotten checked for it, of course, but I just didn't want that.
Sometimes it's better not to go and get a diagnosis and get funneled into the system, just saying.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better just to trust and cleanse and detox and see if it goes down.
Yes.
And then if you can, utilize breath work and movement and yoga, meditation and nutrition and all that, just cleanse the body, it's just got a bit of waste going on, and then see, because sometimes it just, you don't need to be funneled into a system that could chop and burn, and, you want to keep your breasts,
Yes,
intact.
Exactly. That is definitely why I have a healthy mistrust of the medical system and the sick care system, as I like to call it. No offense, love you guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I actually ended up, they did surgery on me, basically. Aliens or ascended masters, someone did surgery.
Did you see anyone, or just
I just saw the owl.
Oh, okay.
Saw the barn owl sitting. So they came into my body and they did surgery and they repaired my breast. So I know that was the start of like my real physical healing here. So which was really.
And how did it feel? Did you feel them going to work, and then you see the light going in, and you just knew, oh, okay, you're going to work on this bad boy, perfect.
Yep.
You just let them do their thing.
I just laid back and rested because I was very exhausted by this point, because you don't really get like a ton of sleep here on purpose to make your ego really tired, so it shuts up.
It's all necessary.
Yeah. So I was really tired. I was just like, you know what? I don't even care. Just whatever. I felt like sensations, like, touching and moving, like just things like righting themselves, and just realigning. And it was crazy.
And now, post that, have you had a good feel? Does it feel like that's gone?
Yeah. It's beautiful.
High five me. Fucking yes. I love that.
So good.
Oh.
So Thursday night, I really wanted to, because I've seen other people who've done the medicine before probably are more, not in control, because you're literally never in control, but they can actually they can like walk around. I mean, I would look up at certain points in the first couple of nights and see people like, how are you doing that? You're walking right now? Like, that's a thing,
Yeah.
So it was really interesting because Thursday night, I'm like, that's not happening to me. I'm not getting reduced to a puddle of mud, tonight. I am not. So I took the medicine. So when you first take the medicine, you can feel nauseous, and that's completely normal because it's just the medicine getting to know your body and just finding the places where it needs to go. But while that's happening, it's very uncomfortable physically. But now that I have this awareness that I was telling you from before of the staying with the discomfort, breathing into the discomfort, and holding space, I actually ended up, I was really shocked. So my ego this night, instead of going into all these like weird possibilities and thinking about people and going into weird dark spirals, my ego had my back. So I sat at first in meditation with 4 crystals surrounding me, and I just sat really peacefully, and I allowed whatever physical discomfort needed to happen. I just like allowed it and just held space for it. And I developed these mantras that my ego took and kept repeating for me. So the first one was, I will hold space. The second one was, find it so I do it right.
She's got some hefty notes here.
A lot of
She's
notes.
had a lot going on.
Yeah.
I love that. She comes prepared.
I do. I had to get it all down. Okay. I will hold space. I will do only that which I feel compelled to do. I will move gently in beauty and grace.
Aww.
So gentleness really came to me. I've never been graceful. I have been a clumsy klutz. I could trip over an air pocket and just take out a whole table of stuff. Like literally has happened to me. And so I found grace. I walk differently now. I walk in power and beauty. And it's like really incredible. And I also, my last one, and very importantly, I will not fight. I will surrender. I am not here to fight this medicine. She knows what, she's going to provide for me what I need to have. And so for me, that was a big one because I tend to tense up and like, oh, my stomach hurts, but I was like, nope, I'm holding space, I'm breathing, I'm not fighting, I'm not reacting, I'm just letting it happen. And so those mantras really, really helped me out for the first half. And I realized that you spend the first half of after you take your dose, you spend the first half holding the mother, holding the medicine.
Yep.
And then she holds you.
Aww.
So after the discomfort, then you get to be held. I mean, literally feels like you're being held by angels. And you're just relaxing and whatever needs to come through comes through as far as downloads and visions and whatever. And so that really like came full circle for me.
Yeah, that's so beautiful.
Yeah. And then the second part of the night, so I went into the night actually with this intention for myself that I was playing with this thing because I come to realize that I was of two worlds through all of this. And so I was thinking the only thing I could liken it to would be Persephone, you know, how she's the goddess of like life and the grain and the harvest, but she goes down willingly and marries Hades and becomes the goddess of the underworld, and she goes down there for half a year, right? So I've had a lot of death in my life. Like both of my adoptive parents are dead. My biological mom has passed away, and I've been there for all of the deaths as well. My uncle has passed away that I was very close to. Just most of my family has passed away or has become very ill. And I've realized that like, you know, I even thought like, oh, well, am I like the goddess of death? Like, am I the goddess of the underworld? So I bought this beautiful black, beautiful flowing gown in the store here. And it's got white adorned on it, like different white little patterns. And I was like, this is my wedding gown. This is my marriage to Hades, to the underworld, to the darkness, the shadow. And it was also my wedding to myself. So my ego and I became best friends. She really supported me during this instead of being the enemy, right?
Ego is your amigo.
Yes,
I love that.
it was perfect. And so I had this dress on, and so I went into it with that. And so I purged. So the medicine that you take the last night here is called yahe, and it's a different type of ayahuasca, and it's very purgative, which means that you release everything that you are not. Like it just leaves your body. It can't exist in your body with the same vibration that the plant is. And so I ended up purging. And I had dreaded puking the entire time. I was fighting throwing up because I'm like, that seems uncomfortable, but I embraced it. Wednesday and then into Thursday, I embraced it. And so when the purge came, and I asked you, they tell you, ask the bucket what you were just getting rid of. And it came, the answer just instantly came to me. And so I was purging, but I was purging my self-doubt, my fear, my guilt, and my shame.
Perfect.
Purged it into the bucket. And it was probably the most that I had thrown up the whole time. Once I did that, so they say that you purge through puking, you'll purge emotional things, right? Like those things that I mentioned. And then you go to the bathroom. And I went to the bathroom like 5 or 6 times. Somebody came up to me later, one of the ladies, and she goes, I think that you get the prize for going to the bathroom the most.
Oh, wow,
yeah. I was in there.
That's good.
The purge from, you know, the number 2 is actually environmental toxins. And I knew that I had that bunch, that heavy metals and a bunch of that stuff. And I knew that that was what was releasing, right? Yeah. Which was really, really important for me. And so that was great. I mean, you're puking and you're smiling. You're like, thank you.
Puking, shitting, smiling,
oh my God, like, it's so funny. Like somebody else might be like, wow, they're having a bad time, but I'm just like, yay.
And then when we hear other people, purging their hearts out, it's literally just sending them love because they're here doing the work, and
we're thanking them.
20, 30 years of therapy in one night, and it's just getting stuff out that just doesn't serve you. And it's a celebration.
Yeah.
It really is a celebration of scraping back the layers of shit that have been bestowed upon you through no fault of your own, in most part, and then just releasing it and getting you back to zero, the true essence of you, the inner child, the soul that you truly are, the beautiful, divine source that you are.
Yeah. And I found myself when people were vomiting or crying out or yelling or whatever, Thursday night was great for me because I was in the walkway. My bed was in the walkway. And so kind of right on the edge of it. And so people would walk past me, and the floor is like a bit hollow in there. And so when you're walking, it sounds like you're stomping. And every time somebody stomped past me, I would say thank you to them. Thank you. I must have needed that vibration, or thank you. I must have needed whatever. And so it became like thanking other people because I'm realizing if someone's near me and they're crying for me to release things for me too,
connected.
Right? We're all connected. So when someone's purging, you can just say thank you so much because you're also purging for me so that I don't have to right now.
It's very, very true.
It's beautiful. So then shit got real. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that on here, but so
they used to be.
Okay.
And Gerry.
Yeah, don't. So second half of the night, I was just laying there, I was being held, and I had one of my other mantras that had come in was that whatever happens to me, because I was in the walkway, and I could just spend the whole night worrying that someone was going to step on my head or something, but I sat, and all I was thinking was, okay, whatever happens to me, physically or otherwise, is supposed to happen for me for my journey. So if someone falls on top of me or steps on my arm or something, that's supposed to happen. So I'm not going to react. I'm not going to react. I'm going to just hold space.
Life.
Yes.
In life, everything that happens is happening for us, not to us.
Yes.
That's so beautiful.
Yes. So at a certain point, one of the people, and this is very common on Yahé, that typically they have several men, usually men, this happens with, where clearly there was just a lot of aggression for this guy, John. Love you, John. Thank you.
We love you.
We love you. And so he was completely, they call it, when you're on Yahé, they call it being drunk, right? So he had drank a lot of the medicine, and he actually lost control of himself and was yelling, and he was in the healing circle, and he was yelling at the shamans and gibberish, and he was speaking in tongues. He was really in it, really gnarly, and they were trying to heal him, and he tried to fight them, physically, and was yelling very aggressively. For me, growing up, I have experienced a lot of physical violence at the hands of my parents, my family members, typically, or a lot of male family members who have physically abused me, smacked me around, or actually put me in a chokehold, scream in my face, just a lot, or even just threatening, right? Just threatening violence to me, a tiny girl, So I felt it so deeply, and at first I was fighting because I was like, you're not supposed to react if he just steps on you or falls on you or whatever, because I was right in the way when they were trying to take him out to help him calm down. And I'm like, you need to stay. But then I went back into my 16-year-old PTSD body of having that happen to me as a young girl. So I ran out of the temple. Well, I walked calmly because I didn't want to upset anyone, out of the temple, and I sat outside, and I was just shaking and crying, just very quietly, but I don't typically cry. And so I was just crying, so I gotta let this out. And so Sarah came and drew everyone back into the temple once they had him under control, and she's like, let's fill the space with love, and we were doing that, and I sat down on my bed, and I just started crying. The second healing circle was called. I went up to it, and I was sobbing, lost, just sobbing, bawling, just crying. It's all out, snot, everything. And the shamans worked on us in the circle, and it was beautiful because I needed Brad. I saw him walking around, and I knew I needed him, but I didn't know why, and I was like, okay, he'll come to me when I need it, when it's the right time, like, just wait, because I knew, I don't know why, but I was like, please help me. Every time I saw him that night, I was like, hi, can you come here? But like, I didn't say anything because I knew that it would all work itself out. So he came to me, and it was so amazing. He's so gentle. And he's a
beautiful soul.
He really is. And so he came to me, and so I was basically releasing all of the toxic masculinity that had been basically like injected into me in my life. And once it was gone, him and Scotty and Leo, of course, they just brought in the divine masculine, and
they're good at that.
It was amazing. They really invited that into me and like cleared me out of everything else, helped me they doused me in the spray. Like they just like I was like soaking wet with it, but you know, it really worked.
Well, that's why everything's perfect, you know, like that experiencing that with John doing that was a catalyst for everybody to have a deep healing inside. So every single thing that happens in the medicine is magnifying the outside world. And so everything triggers something in everybody, and everything is either, you know, an annoyance or they love it. But every single thing is perfect for everybody's individual journey, because John has got some deep healing, you know, PTSD, really deep stuff that the medicine was drawing out, which then triggered in everybody different emotions and things that needed evoking, that needed to come to surface, to come out. And that's why I love this medicine, because it's not just a case of, okay, somebody is, you know, really drunk in the medicine and, you know, needs to be controlled. It's like, no, it's perfect. And, you know, they need to have their healing, but also everything works so synergistically in the medicine. It's so funny and beautiful and amazing how it does that.
And I realized, and all I was doing while I was crying was just saying, thank you, John, thank you, John, because even though it was scary to me, and I could have had some kind of bad feeling about it, but to me, he was releasing that aggression for all of men.
I felt like that too.
He was releasing it. He was allowing. He was open. The channel was open, and he was taking all of the toxic masculinity and he was purging it in just an amazing way. And I was so grateful. And then I got to do that for the women. So, I mean, if you heard someone like hopelessly sobbing in the second healing circle, it was me.
That's so beautiful.
I was doing that for the women.
Then the glow of John and you the next morning, you know, it's literally like a whole weight had been lifted off of everybody had it. And it was just such a beautiful healing ceremony. I love the Colombian tribe because when they come, shit gets real. We go deep. You go deep into it, and then you draw it out. You know, so you've got years of trauma and emotions pent up inside. You may as well come and drink some medicine and get it out.
Please do. I implore you.
So then, anything else happened Thursday?
So Thursday night was really interesting. That was kind of the wrap up of Thursday night for me, and it was funny because I had already thrown up my guilt and my shame and all that. And I knew I threw out my shame because I got walked in on in the bathroom while I was pooping. And I was like, hi. I didn't react. I was just like, hi. And the guy was like, oh, you know, but like I would have been so ashamed of that before, like, oh God, you know, like I was even in my bra and my underwear. Like I didn't have like anything on. It's like, I was like, hi.
Like, I'm just taking a shit. Don't mind me.
Just taking a shit. No problem. And it was just really interesting because I actually didn't take a second cup. And in Yai, typically they say they want to get as drunk as possible. So you are actually allowed to take up to 5 or 6 cups if you feel the calling of the medicine. And I really wrestled with myself because I was like, I don't feel like I should take another cup.
Yeah.
And
it's totally up to you.
And I knew that it wasn't out of fear because I had already given my fear away to the bucket. So that was really good.
That's so beautiful.
So Thursday night, you don't actually go to bed. You don't leave the temple. And so in the morning, I'm having my healing. I'm crying out. Divine masculinity is entering me and cleansing me. And the sun is rising. And it's like rising on a new life for me. It was beautiful, literally. I also grew wings during the healing. I grew massive wings. So I kept getting a vision of me with 2 wings the night before, a white wing of a barn owl and a black raven wing.
Oh, how amazing.
And they are huge. So I'm like, man, so they really came in when my heart got healed. They were fully like spread, right? And that was incredible.
So that all happened in the healing center. Your heart healed, wings. Oh, beautiful.
And so So yeah, it was incredible. So I finished that part, and then you just go and you leave. The shaman talks to you for a while and gives you some advice about how to carry on in life now, because you're a completely different person. And then you go to breakfast.
Yep.
So I went to breakfast, and I ate breakfast, and I had a couple of pieces of fruit, and I had some rice and beans, and then I had something I hadn't had since I'd been here, which was a piece of toast, and I put butter on it. Real, like, actual cow's milk butter. I have been vegan for 3 years. So I don't know what compelled me to put butter on my toast, since I haven't eaten butter in a long time. Yeah, so I ate that toast, and then I was like getting frustrated by everything. It was like the day before, everything was presenting itself to me. The universe was completely aligned for myself. And then all of a sudden, everything sucked. Like, literally, it was awful. Like, my internet wouldn't work. I was trying to do this, I was trying to do that. I was like, this is ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to bed.
Yeah.
So I went to my room. This is probably like 9:30 or 10 o'clock in the morning. And I had a massage at 11. So I set my alarm. I think it was like 10:30, and I set my alarm for half an hour. Woke up and was like, nope, not going to my massage. So I texted the office, had them reschedule it, and went back to sleep for about an hour. I set my alarm for noon. I woke up shortly before noon, and I was tripping balls. I did not trip. So Yahe, not everybody, almost nobody has like a lot of visuals on the Yahe the last night. But I actually ended up having crazy visuals, and the plant was with me. I mean, it was like I just took a dose.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is going on? And I was having trouble breathing and everything. So I put on clothes, and I was like, I gotta go just find somebody to help me take care of me, because something is wrong.
Yeah.
I knew that.
Yeah.
But I interestingly stopped, and I put on a necklace and a ring. A necklace that had a dendritic agate wrapped in copper wire with the tree of life, and then a labradorite, big labradorite stone on my ring. Weird that I would go to get help for being sick, and be barely able to move, put on jewelry, right? Yeah. So, so I end up. I didn't know what to do. I was like, do I need a shaman? Do I need Jesus? Like, what is going on? And I'm like, I gotta get some water. So I just went to the restaurant down by the pool. And I went in the restaurant, and I got a glass of water, and I sat down, and I was just sitting there. And I was looking at people doing stuff and talking, and I was like, I can't person right now. Like, I'm having a hard time. And one of the beautiful ladies who works in the cafe, she came and she brought me a little glass of coconut water. And I was like, oh, thank you. So I took the coconut water and drank it, some of it. And I was looking around, and I was waiting. I'm like, a shaman's going to come in here. They got to come in here, because I don't know what I need, but I need something like tobacco or whatever, rapé, I don't know. So I'm sitting there, and I guess that it was really obvious that I was having a hard time. But I physically couldn't ask for help. Like, I did not know what was going on. And so actually 2 of the people who work in the restaurant came, and they gently said, how are you doing? And I was like, really bad. I was like, I need help. And then they were like, yeah, we're here to take you to the clinic. So they knew that something was happening. So they took me in a shuttle, took me to the clinic. And there I had a miraculous healing. So the reason I'm at Rythmia, I have been following the medical medium. If any of you guys know him, Anthony Williams. Oh, yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, if you ever see this. So I realized that I had a really bad infection of Epstein-Barr virus. So Epstein-Barr causes mononucleosis. I'm sure most of you have had it at one point. I had it pretty bad. And then, of course, they tell you if you have the antibodies in your blood of the virus, and you're not expressing any symptoms, that it's gone, right? But we know that's not true, because viruses, they live in you forever. So what I realized is that through Anthony Williams' work, is that the virus actually moved into my liver after I had it in high school, and it was in my liver, causing liver damage for a long time, probably 10 years at least. So causing weight issues, causing, tiredness, blockages, really a lot of issues, specifically weight issues. And so it was hiding from my blood cells in my liver. So the blood cells couldn't get to it. At a certain point, when I was in California about 3.5 years ago, I had an experience where I re-expressed the symptoms of mononucleosis. So my tonsils swelled up, I had a really bad fever. I tried to drink water and it shot out my nose because the tonsils forced it up and out. I couldn't swallow any water, so I went to the hospital. I was like an episode of House, like no one, there was like, I woke up and there's 4 doctors like poking my mouth, like, yeah, I tested her for this, it's not that, no, it's all negative. And they're like, what about this? And I mean, they tested me for almost everything. No conclusion. And they sent me home with steroids, for the swelling. So that, then when I'm reading it in William's work, I'm realizing that is when the disease actually enters the next stage, where it moves from your liver into your thyroid, and its end goal is your central nervous system. So it had moved to my thyroid, and it was starting to attack my central nervous system, which is actually the root cause of all autoimmune diseases. They're all viral infections. So if you have an autoimmune disease, I beg you to please check out Medical Medium and absolutely come to Rythmia if you can. So I had the dendritic agate. So if you don't know what dendritic agate is, it's a white agate with black intrusions, which look like the dendrites in your central nervous system. I remembered to put on this necklace before I left my room because I needed it. And actually, if you look up the crystal healing properties of dendritic agate, it heals the central nervous system. And I've been wearing this necklace for like 2 months straight. So I had my necklace, everything was there. They laid me down in the bed, they took my vitals, and my blood pressure had plummeted. I mean, honestly, like if it was close to the point of like, you kind of are gonna die. Like it was very low. And I had a fever at the same time. Yes. And so my ego kicked in because it could have been really scary. I could have fought it. I could have been suffering, but I learned from the medicine that it was just something leaving. So I'm laying there and I'm like just saying my mantras. My ego kicks in and starts doing those mantras that I shared with you, right? And it was glorious. It was really, really pretty. So looking back at it, now I realize that I ate butter because animal fat is actually the favorite food of the Epstein-Barr virus. And so Epstein-Barr left my thyroid and my central nervous system and entered the bloodstream to feed on the butter that I just ate. And then my body, the coconut water actually slowed and actually was what caused my blood pressure to plummet, which kept Epstein-Barr, prevented it from flying back into my organs. How amazing. So it kept it in my blood. And so when she kept asking me, you're hot? And I had a cold rag and I asked her for some kind of oil and she had eucalyptus, which was perfect, right? So I was rubbing this rag and my ears were burning. I mean, burning, and my throat, right? My thyroid. So basically what happened is the virus was drawn out by the butter that I ate. My body then reacted and slowed down the flow of my blood so that it would give my blood cells time to literally fry this virus. And while it was happening, my mantras that I had, the ones I was telling you guys from before, my mantras actually changed in nature, and a couple of them started to come through. And I was saying just gratitude. Thank you to this virus for showing me this path to healing. Thanking this virus for the learning that I have done about myself and how to heal it, right? Thank you for being here, but you're no longer welcome in this body.
That's exactly what you've got to do when we've got these things, because everything's a catalyst for us to awaken and grow. You know, the body whispers all the time, and sometimes it takes a big scream. Like for me, it was cancer, you know, before we actually listen. But then upon reflection, everything is a gift. Every single thing. And the beauty is that you've seen that and you've shown that. And what a bloody good story.
Right?
Like, whoa.
Can't make that up.
No, that was so amazing. So then for breath work last night, how did that feel then after you've had this epic healing?
Well, my body was still really weak. And I was just kind of giving it the space it needed. I did go to the dance. I was late, but I still went, and that was beautiful. And I still took it easy on myself because I would literally walked out of the clinic from getting this healing, you know, and really relaxing and calming. Oh, and Thoth came to me while I was the Egyptian god Thoth, because I was begging for, I wanted to touch Pachamama, which is the earth. I am a Taurus and I'm the earth sign, and all of my trips I became something of the earth. So I became a tree or something like that. So I know that earth energy is really important for me, and I was trying to, like, while I was in trance doing this healing, I was in this bed, but I was raised up off the floor, and I couldn't reach the earth. And so I was begging, like, I need like a Taurus or somebody to help me, like, to channel the earth energy into me to help me through this healing. And Thoth came to me, and in the guise of one of my friends here. It was really beautiful. And I realized that that's him, which is great. And helped me, right? And I was just like, when I saw him, I was like, oh, Thoth, that's amazing. Oh. Like, I was literally that person that you see in movies who was muttering to themselves and, like, in a fever. Like, that was me. And so because Thoth was there, I was like, well, that's interesting, but why did I see Thoth? Why did he come to me? And I looked up Thoth, and he's, of course, the god of, the Egyptian god of art and beauty, poetry, hieroglyphics, writing, all that. But the second paragraph says his wife, he's typically depicted with his wife, Mayet, who is the goddess of divine balance. I'm going to show you guys. So before I left my room, I was putting on all this jewelry, again, black and white agate, right? I changed my gauges because, again, I had the white wing, I had the black wing in all my visions. So I put in a white gauge and a black gauge, black on this side, white on this side. So I start seeing this. I'm like, okay, well, let me look up Mayet. And so she's the, you know, the goddess of justice. And I had been fooling around with this whole goddess of death thing. Well, in their ceremonies in ancient Egypt, when you died, they weighed your heart with a feather. And if your heart was heavier than the feather, that means that you weren't as pure. You did bad stuff, right? And so I'm literally that manifestation, that goddess of balance and order, who ushers the good into the land of the dead, like, you know, beautiful. To be at rest.
You are a goddess.
I know.
That's so amazing. Cool. I love it when you can go into the medicine and truly ask about past lives, and just to have a knowing and a belief, and just to really visualize and feel these things, and to see and to know that you have been here before is such a beautiful gift. It truly is a gift, and you are a true gift.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for sharing with me. Is there anything else you'd like to share? So when do you leave tomorrow?
I leave tomorrow afternoon.
So you're going to do breath work tonight?
Yes, I am.
Perfect.
Oh, I was afraid of breath. We were talking about breath work. I was afraid to go to breath work because I've been kind of eyeing food and everything, because, you know, the smallest thing, you know, if I had something else to heal or whatever, would put me back into that. And I'm like, that was fun, but maybe not twice in a row. So I'm like, oh God, am I going to go in? They're saying breath work really brings out a lot in you. And I was
cleans the vessel.
And I was like, well, if I go to breath work, what if I like have an attack again, right? I didn't know. I mean, I was a little afraid, but I still did it. And it was so freeing.
Aww.
It was a glorious, like, beautiful experience.
Oh, beautiful.
Really powerful.
It is very powerful and free. You may as well just breathe more and really cleanse out the body. It's so beautiful, isn't it? Are you going to do it tonight?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, you're so beautiful. I have one more question.
Yeah, absolutely.
What would you say to anybody that's sitting on the fence about coming to Rythmia and drinking this glorious plant medicine?
You're worth it. Don't think about the money. Honestly, for what I paid for this experience, it's priceless. I mean, to heal my body, I knew, it's what I knew all along, that we are able to change our DNA. We are able to take charge of our lives, of our environment, and walk as gods. And if you want to meet God, if you are religious, if you want to know your true essence and understand your purpose on this plane of existence for your lifetime, spend the money. The money will come back to you. If you're like, oh, I'm just saving this for X, Y, Z, spend the money, and it will come back to you.
It really, really does. That was so beautifully put. It's literally like you're paying a lot of money to puke and shit, but what you get is priceless, and it really does come back full-fold. Like when you invest in yourself and your true health, you leave here a whole new, brand new version of yourself, and so your energy is no longer the same. You're physically not the same person. You've rebuilt new neurological pathways, and so you draw in different energies, and you attract different opportunities and people in your life, and so it comes full circle. If you invest in yourself, literally it just comes back to you, and I'm true testament to that. It really does work like that. The law of attraction, massive action, equals the most amazing life to unfold in front of your very eyes. You, goddess, are so articulate and fascinating, and I could listen to you all day. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciated that, and I know everybody else did. She's amazing. Let's check, see what people are saying. For some reason, there's like 53 comments, and I can see about 5 of them. Need to work this out. Lost audio. Audio is good here. Refresh page. That helped, thanks.
Yeah, I had a lot of notes, Patrick. I could write a book.
Yeah, she needed to look at the notes. She had lots to say.
Yeah, I was using it for notes.
Yeah, it said, unless she's reading notes. She was.
I even missed some stuff, guys, so.
Does that mean that you weren't really listening to what she was saying? You were just more watching her behaviors and judging? Let's just have a look. Oh, look, there was a big conversation about the notes and the phone. She wasn't Facebooking while talking to me. Do you think I'd allow that?
Boring.
No. I would not. Oh, yeah, it's like, Candice, you're so boring. Can't even be bothered. Oh. Okay. Joelle, you beautiful goddess. First time I caught this live. I love you. Can't wait for you to come back. And Lisa, wow, just had the same conversation with my friend today, and we also came to that conclusion that these little animals just giving us medicine if we need it. Amazing. Yes. Thank you. Yeah, I'd never looked at it like that, and it just makes perfect sense. But now I'm kind of like, well, why aren't they sucking blood out of me and giving me stuff?
You're good.
Yeah, I'm good to go. But I've got enough medicine.
Well, yeah, they're also taking, right? If you have, if you come here and the mosquitoes are eating you alive, don't bring bug spray. They're taking things that you don't need anymore, and the bite is fine. It's fine.
I love that. We're going with that one. Gemma, I love you talking to me too. You're amazing, and I can't wait to see you back here. Leonie, hi babe, love you lots. Let's see what's going on. Mary, surgery, that's amazing. Yeah, you did have a pretty good one. Linda, thanks for sharing your wonderful experience. So happy you had sacred surgery. I did too, and I'm so grateful. Was told the healing would continue, and it has. Oh, it definitely does. The medicine stays in you. Once you've unlocked that door, you know, there's lots of different doors to the same source, and plant medicine is just one door. Yeah, so, yes, and then you've opened that glorious door. It's like it's a gift that keeps giving. And so you just need to tap in your daily life with meditation and things like that.
The name of the movie, Alex, if you're still here.
Yeah, what movie? What movie?
The Spirit Science movie, I believe.
Yeah.
It's you'll see it on his YouTube.
Yeah, go to Spirit Science Official.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
And watch them all.
Yeah, watch them all.
Watch them all.
Honestly. But it's a 1 hour movie.
Yeah. There's lots of them. Jody, interesting. I didn't realize that the number 2 page is environmental toxins. I guess my body is pretty clean then. Must be all the essential oils I use. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Oh, someone posted a link. Thanks for sharing. Love you. Thanks for this. I wonder if this will heal a seizure disorder. I would definitely speak to our medical team. Call the people. The medicine works in so many amazing ways. I would contact the medical team for your case specifically, because I don't want to say anything that is out of whack with what the medical team go for. And this is the beautiful thing about this place, is it is governed by an amazing medical team, and we really do, you know, do the most amazing like checks of how everyone is, like before, mid, and after, and it just continues.
There's a couple of people here who are older and have like some infirmities and stuff, and I've seen them being checked on. I've seen them, and I'll tell you from my personal experience, I have never been more cared for out of the blue than here. Like, no, I don't even have to ask, and they're just there giving me exactly what I need. They are all angels here.
Truly, truly, I feel very blessed to work here. Mary, how healing! I've got to get there. Yes, you do. Yes. Gwen, I was so blessed to have been there in August. I'm going to be back one day and going deeper. The medicine got rid of my depression. All the darkness has left me. It is priceless and an investment of your health, not a vacation.
Yeah,
I love
it's
you.
not restful.
Yeah, you might need a beach vacation after here just to integrate it all. Don't go back to work.
Something beautiful to say.
Say it.
So one of my realizations throughout my ceremonies was that this is a healing center of the world, and there are a lot of them. But this is really one of the wombs of Mother Earth, and she brings the healers here. We healers come here to heal, so that we were talking about, oh well, what are you supposed to worry about your environmental pollutions and stuff when you get home and this and that? And of course, yes, you are. But at the same time, once you have done the work and changed your DNA and this and that, we don't need to really worry about it, because you can always come back to a place like this. And what I believe is that the light workers come here and we get filled with gentleness and purity and light. And then we are set free back into the world. And if it's a place, if we live somewhere that has lots of troubles or is suffering, we get to walk through that, leaving a trail of sunshine and love. And it drips off of us and heals everything around us. So, you know.
One big love bubble.
Exactly.
I love that. Yeah. I love the way you put things. Beautiful. Okay, one more comment. Let's have a look.
That's my husband. Hi.
I thought he was saying he loved me. Hey, babe.
Hey.
Oh, how lovely. It's so beautiful. Is he going to come here?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's going. He's actually having his own in Peru.
Oh.
He's going to Peru to do the medicine.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come here.
Then he's coming here. Yeah.
Perfect. Good lad. Gwen, plus I got a great download to communicate with animals as I work in with rescuing street animals in Panama. Oh, Gwen, how beautiful.
Thank you, Gwen, for doing that work.
Yeah, you're amazing. And we love you all. And get Shit the Moon Said, if you haven't read it. Get yourselves to Rythmia and get some deep healing. I can't get through all the comments. I can't see them all. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Sorry about that. And I know a couple of weeks ago it kind of cut off when I was reading some, because the internet, it was stormy and stuff, but we made it today, and this was a long one. Thanks for sticking it out. We love you so much, and we cannot wait to help you heal here, and we will speak to you soon.
Thank you.